Okay, so I'm Grasswalker. Hello and welcome to potentially the third and final game, the Dota 2 Bot Masters Grand Finals. I'm sure all the fans in the audience, unless you're really attached to one of these two teams, you're hoping that Sirius will win, just for the show of it, because the beginner AI is 2-0 up in this best of 5 Grand Finals. First to 3 wins will get it done. Start the lobby up, because we know that they take a little bit of a while to pick their heroes. Also know that they don't really do anything too extravagant when they're looking for runes. On the dire side, we have Sirius AI. This time they're looking to pick up Lina, which is a much better hero than some of the stuff they were picking last game, I think. Inner AI will go for a sniper. Clinks and Lina on the same team is a little bit suspect. I feel like they fulfill very similar roles, which is ranged damage hero that sort of hides on the outside of fights. Speaking of hiding on the outside of fights, Slark is also a little bit like that. But your Juggernaut and Gunker are definitely manly, although my first question when I look at the dire side is, who the fuck are your support?
Witch Doctor!
Who's gonna buy wards and a Glimmer Cape and Force Staff and that kind of thing? I mean, you look at the Radiant side, you've got a Witch Doctor, a Shadow Shaman, it's very clear who your support heroes are. You look at dire side, it's like, wait, what? Lina Kunkka maybe? Lina 5 Kunkka 4? That's all I could possibly imagine. In terms of lanes, looks like we're going to have the Sniper mid for beginner AI. Tried and true classic, especially for bots. When I think bots, and you ask me to think of like a classic bot mid heroes, I'm thinking Viper, I'm thinking Death Prophet, thinking Sniper, I'm thinking Razor, and I'm thinking Necrophos. If you ask me what 5 heroes I've played against bots in the mid lane most, I would say probably some of those 5 heroes, which leads a Shadow Fiend 1 position and a Shadow Shaman 5. I would have preferred the Doctor to be the 5 and the Shadow Shaman be the 4, but what they might be thinking is that if you shackle, you can land raises, whereas Witch Doctor doesn't offer anything to help the Shadow Fiend land raises. Then your offlane is Witch Doctor Dragon Knight. I couldn't ask for a more real offlane. Like, that feels genuinely like, I mean, all of these 3 Radiant lanes feel genuinely fine. I turn up to a ranked game and these are my 3 lanes, I'm like, alright. I'm feeling okay about that. On the other side of things, we've got Kunkka Slark safe lane. Sirius, I'm not keen on this doubling up on heroes. Because we've seen Wraith King Dragon Knight as a doubled up safe lane. Now we're seeing Kunkka Slark as a doubled up safe lane. I feel like it's inherently problematic because only one of these heroes can farm. Elastic counter real quick. I can't click and use my tiny brain at the same time. I'm not keen on that. Then we've got Clink's Jug, which is also quite rough because both of these heroes want a lot of farm and a lot of levels. Jug's okay in the safe lane. People aren't that keen on it. But I don't think there's anything about Jug that means that he can't just be an offlaner. He's got an escape, he's got sustain, he's tanky, he doesn't mind that much if his farm and levels are interrupted a little bit, as long as he's not getting dumpstered. Got Lina versus Sniper in the mid. So far, very even for those two. 5-4.
Battle Fury!
Sniper not quite able to get that one. Will be a spin to win from the Jug. Punishing the Shadow Fiend. He might be dead here. I think this is first blood, and it is. Sirius AI getting off to a much better start in this game than they have in the other 2 games. We might be seeing a second blood here as well. Shadow Shaman getting chased down. Jug, move speed 300. Shadow Shaman 285. He can keep clicking this boy. But eventually the question is it worth it? What are you losing? Sure, you might get 200 gold for a Shadow Shaman kill, but there's one creep. TP's out. There's a second creep. There's a third creep. There's a range creep deny lost. There's a range creep deny lost. Jug's still not back to lane. Fourth creep missed. And he was there for that one, just didn't get it. So you've lost 3 or 4 important denies and 5 creeps, which adds up to more than you would have got if you just killed that shaman. Sometimes it's not worth it to chase for the kill, just turn around, go back and lane, you know? Meanwhile, safe lane, everything's peaceful. Picking the Dragon Knight again is something I'm not against. Because the Dragon Knight did fine. There wasn't anything wrong with the Dragon Knight in that game, I don't think. It was just that you aired him with a Wraith King. So now they've gone, alright, pick the Dragon King, but we'll put it in a real lane with a real hero. We're going to show you how it's played. This is not what you want. Putting Dragon Knight as 5 in the safe lane with a Wraith King is not what you want to do with it. Putting him in the off lane with a Witch Doctor, that's pretty reasonable. I think beginner AI is showing a better understanding of Dragon Knight and how to use it than Sirius AI had. The harassment on the Kunkka. Radiant beginner AI showing much better farming though. 17 CS on this Shadow Demon. Shadow Fiend, sorry. Although he's dead again. He's getting good farm, but he keeps dying. Which raises the question, is it good farm if you keep dying? There's obviously a death cost, but there's also then an XP from a not being in lane cost. As well as the money that you're giving to the other team. Kunkka's very tanky, should be okay. Maledict might tick him quite low. Ooh, very low. Oh, very low. Sark has to jump in to save him. Got a salve though, that'll help him out. Wow, big heavy right clicks coming out from the SF. If you're going to lane the SF, I would like to see a presence of the Dark Lord. Just a casual 1 point for the 4 minus armor. So if we have a look, Clinks has 10 armor. Sorry, 7 armor when he's not near the tower. Turn that into 3. Jug, he's probably got also 7 armor. 9, turn it into 5. You sort of half the enemy team's armor. Just with 1 skill point. I think it can add up. Helps CS as well a little bit. It does accidentally push the lane. Lina doing okay against the Sniper, but clearly getting a little bit behind. Sniper half a level ahead on account of this 7 extra denies that he's got. Might even be a full level ahead when he kills this ranged creep. Not quite. Can I check that? 580 out of 680. Compared to Lina's 290 out of 680. So he is about a wave and a half ahead. Shadow Fiend coming in with the raises, but he's going to tank some tower shots. That's not even worth the raise that you landed. Pops the salve, wants to heal up. All calm in the lanes. Take a cheeky look at this net worth.
Not today.
Completely split down the middle. Radiant slightly favoured with the cause. Sniper now solo XP in the mid while Lina just runs off. I'm not sure where she went or what she was doing. But that's going to put the Sniper really far ahead in levels. It's really cheeky, but if I'm the Sniper, I think I just ult her here for 300 damage. Just like, get out my lane. I just click the ult and see what happens. Dragon Knight, too tanky to gank in my opinion.
My gratitude.
Pops himself a salve. Got one in the backpack. Bots always seems to have a backpack salve just waiting to be used. Oh, Jug's got 2. And a 20-stick wand. Woof.
Invisibility.
Dragonite feeling invincible, just running at the Gunker.
Don't think you love me.
That's a casual stun. Dragonite's invincible, but the Witch Doctor isn't. He's dead.
Denied.
Which is tragic, because it's almost like the Dragonite baited the Doctor into that. I feel like on the voice comms, Dragonite's like, get over here, throw a stun, and he just dies as soon as he stands anywhere near where that Dragonite is existing.
No.
A TP, just to the base. Wow, Lena gets picked off mid. That's crushing. I mean, you put the happy face in the chat, but that's really quite terrible. That puts this mid lane from slightly ahead to Sniper to a clearly 1 lane for Sniper.
Double damage.
3 Radiant Cores on top. Beginner AI showing another victorious laning stage, it will seem. Unless something drastic happens in the next 90 seconds. Wow, Shadow Fiend dead to a spin again. That's Shadow Fiend's 3rd death of the game. Doesn't matter too much because he's 2nd on the net worth. But he is allowing this Jug to stay equal to him. While Gunker's quite low top. Dragonite could just hang out anywhere, it seems. Walking under the tower, not a care in the world. Because he knows neither of these heroes can really do anything against him, because they're just 2 stupid fat melee heroes. Trying to think of a decent laning sport. Say a Dazzle. Try that dive with the Dazzle involved. I mean, first of all, you've got the Grave to save the Gunker right there. Second of all, the second you start diving, put that poison touch on him, it gives him minus armor, tick damage, right click him once or twice. Double kill for that off lane. Huge victory in lane for the Radiant side. Beginner AI not running away with the game, but looking like they might start running away with the laning stage. Goes from slightly Sirius favoured, especially after that first blood, to push up and up in Beginner AI's favour. They're still diving, they're not done. They know that neither of these heroes have anything to offer. Just manning up on them. Got Chase. Dragonite's chasing Kunker. Kunker's chasing Slark. Slark's chasing Witch Doctor. Ult in the mid lane. That was nearly a kill on the Lena. Is a kill on the Kunker.
Let my face be the last thing you see.
Tried to catch both. Caught neither. As one survived.
Off like a shot.
There's the Shadow Fiend. Oh no. Shadow Fiend? He's just hanging around in the fountain.
Looks like it's just
Shadow Shaman's dead. The Shadow Duo.
a worthy.
Hello? Is he bricked? This could be really bad for them. Beginner AI, if they lose to a bricked hero, that's going to be so tragic, but it will make a 10th best of 5. What do we think could be his waking condition? How long's he been in there? It's got to be since Jug spun him. That was like 2 minutes ago. Oh no. I think Clinks and Jug can dominate a Shaman out of the lane. We've seen 1 kill already. Now we're watching a bit of a turn up here. Dragonite getting forced out of lane. Sniper more than happy to man up on this Lena. She should be dead here. Click of the ult, and there you have it. Trashed mid lane. Meanwhile, Shadow Shaman gets picked off. They're happy to farm the wards though. If you're going to die on Shadow Shaman, think for a millisecond about whether you drop the wards, because not only does he not have them when he respawns, which means there's No real push opportunity for the Radiant side for the next 100 seconds. But also, each ward gives, I think, 30 gold, and there's 10 surplus, that's 300 gold. That's like handing 2 towers to the enemy team. Sniper's here now, though he's a big boy and he hits super hard. Good god, that's a lot of damage. Just TP's in, right clicks, that Clink's dead.
Ability.
Good god, look at the size of this sniper. 5k gold at 12 minutes. Have a look at that GPM.
Just what the doctor ordered.
400, that's not nearly as high as I thought it would be, actually. Yeah, I was impressed for no reason. Lina not quite feeling like a core right now. No offense, but at 13 minutes, a 4-position Lina could have Arcade's Null Wand and not 900 in the bank, but 900 in the bank doesn't give you anything. Beans bricked. Can beginner AI win 4v5? Is this a bad mana? Like the biggest BM in the world. Jug's in. Doesn't have mana for Omnislash. Getting right clicked. Healing Ward, helping him stay alive. Does die though to the Maledictix. Dragonite's tanky, but I don't know if he is this tanky. He just walks. He even turns for a stun, but the X mark will be the death of him. Back into the boat, he's over. Who is texted every 30 seconds? Cease this. Missed a kill on the Slark now. Sniper TPs, turns up, just kills the Slark. Is the sniper and the Dragon Knight going to be enough? The Fiend's bricked. Oh no. I mean, he's abandoned. He's not accumulating money. Which is odd, because you'd imagine that only a human player could abandon. We've got a stun onto the Slark. Out comes the ult from the sniper, but I think he did that in the wrong order. Couple of right clicks, Lena's dead. More right clicks, Sniper's just hanging out in the river. This is the best feeling in the world as a sniper. You're just sitting somewhere behind a Dragon Knight, just killing people. Out comes the Omnislash, but it's all on the Dragon Knight. What does he care? Couple more right clicks. Sniper's got a double kill. Oh, Shadow Fiend's fixed.
Oh, bounty.
I don't know what did it, but he's back. Well, with that, it's starting to feel like Sirius has no hope. What the fuck happened to the Shadow Fiend? Oh, Lena is so dead. She just doesn't feel like a core.
Dire's structures are fortified.
They're fighting between the towers. That's how far ahead beginner AI feels, how comfortable they are in this best of 5.
Dire's middle tower
Willing to take these risks. 5 beginner AI heroes just walking down mid. Find a Jug, they kill a Jug, kill the healing ward, 75 gold for yellow, that's Shadow Shaman, he'll nom 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 nom, he'll love that. Now they just push. Just pushing a tier 2 at 16 minutes.
Nice try.
The sniper kills the Clinks with a single ult and shrapnel. The Witch Doctor cask is bouncing around. Out comes the Lena ult, and it's barely able to take down the Witch Doctor, and now it's 4 heroes dead. Tier 2's dead.
Dire's middle tower has
It's a
fallen.
shame that the wards aren't available for the high ground, because I think they could get like a 15-20 minute racks. They've got a catapult, they've got a creep wave, they've got 5 heroes, they've got a Dragon Knight. He just needs to right click it. He has actually 20 damage a second. I mean, that's the
Dire's structures are
glyph comes
fortified.
out.
Thank you.
They salve through it. Everyone's starting to respawn. They are going to give up on this push, or are they? It's the fake back. They just turn and start right-clicking, and now Conker's dead. Jug, he's trying to run in, he's trying to run out. He puts the Omni down, but they're also tanky. It doesn't really matter. Sniper's still here right-clicking. He does die. One Dragon Slave comes out. Laguna available in 15 seconds. Lightning Strike Array stuns the Shadow Fiend, gets him low.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
And it's a hold. They break some of these kill
Radiant
streaks.
structures are fortified.
7,000 gold for the Sniper. Shadow Fiend wasn't worth anything. Those are your 2 casualties. I mean, that's scary. If the Shadow Shaman had held onto his wards, which to be fair didn't help in that mid-fight too much, I think they would have had this tower. And if that fight is under Serpent wards with a dead tower, I feel like they'd probably win that fight, because that was a very close fight. The margins were very slim. Sniper just TPs in, drops a shrapnel, starts right-clicking, hits the Laguna, ults the Clinks, that's 1 dead, clicks the Relina, that's 2 dead. Shrapnel slows this triple kill from the Sniper's worth 9,000 gold.
Gold from my chest.
See if got the Mask of Madness, good god. He's got something on the Courier as well. It's coming out for him. Mithril Hammer. Part of me wants to see a Deso. The other part of me is like, you should just get a BKB. Just be safe. The mid push is on. They find the Conqueror. They right click him. Maledict. He's dead. Even if it wasn't just to the ticks, he would be dead. I'd love to just see the wards get dropped. Just put down the Serpent wards. Get this Rax. Right click, Slark. He's already at half by the time he even gets to see an enemy hero.
Dire's courier has been killed.
Here comes the Dragon Slave. It's on for 2. Crimson Guard. The wards are dropped. Traps the Lena. She fights her way out, but she's already dead. In comes the fight under the ward, under the other ward as the Witch Doctor ults. Omni Slash comes through, but they group up. They're like, Lamau, does it matter? There's your tier 3 dead. Base is broken before 20 minutes. Racks are going to fall before 20 minutes. Backdoor protection, the only thing protecting them.
Dire's structures are
They have a
fortified.
glyph. I don't know if the Racks are definitely dead before 20 minutes. They've got 15 seconds to kill the Racks. Yeah, it's done. It's so easily done. 1 down.
Dire's
Here
middle
comes the
barracks
second.
has fallen.
And they have 5 seconds to
Dire's
spare.
middle barracks
Maybe
has
6 if you're
fallen.
feeling generous. I mean... it's feeling over. Slark can jump the Shadow Shaman. This is a very killable kill. Interrupts the Shackle with the Torrent, and there's a kill for the Slark. Gets himself another permanent agility. Witch Doctor ult, not quite enough to kill him. Need to do a cheeky Maledict first, I think. Then that prompts the Slark to just pop his things. Pretty sure you can dispel Maledict with Dark Pact. I feel like you could dispel anything with Dark Pact. Sniper finished. Maelstrom was the choice. I think that's the worst of the Mithril Hammer items he could have got. That's a dead Slark. Wow. That's just horrific what I'm watching right now. Sniper just 1v3ing in the bot lane. Takes out a tower. Man-moding it all by himself. He's going for the Force Staff. God. Dragon Knight plus Witch Doctor. Grab a kill on the Conquer. Sniper just casually pushing. Meanwhile, it's hard to deal with super creeps at 20 minutes in. I mean... Clinks is eating them to get the extra damage. He's struggling to push them out. Meanwhile, Sniper mans up on the creeps. Mans up on the tower, TP's out. Meanwhile, you've got wards plus catapult plus great wave plus 3 heroes. Dust popped on the Clinks. He's just gonna run. Tier 2 tower top is dead. There's no question about it. That Lina TP is extremely optimistic as she will cancel it, but it's baited her team in. Clinks and Kunkka go in, they're like, alright Lina, let's go in, and she's like, peace. I wasn't going to go in on that. Sirius is just not on the same page, and then she dies mid to the sniper, a couple of right clicks anyway. Sniper's worth 14,000 gold, he's got a DD rune. I like what Sniper's doing. He's forcing in the mid lane, even though it's the super creep lane, because you don't want to wait a long time for the super creeps to get in the base. Dragon Knight plus the Shadow Shaman just popped the jug. And Sniper's like, fuck all the other axes, let's just throne them. And I don't think this is a dead slot, but it's very close to it. Boat popped onto the Shadow Shaman, but he's still alive. The sniper just right clicks, he just clicks them. There's nothing anyone can do about it because he's that far ahead. It's 5 Radiant heroes on top, they're taking out the tier 4s, and we might be looking at one of the only sub 25-minute games. Definitely the...
middle tower has fallen.
Actually, I think Army Bots might have got a cheeky early racks, but I think the earliest racks of the tournament, maybe the fastest game of the tournament. We've had a couple of fast ones, but this is very hasty. Beginner AI just putting a stamp on this series. Sirius just don't have the heroes, they don't have the money or the heroes to defend this. It's clean. Beginner AI leaves no doubt to the audience. Yes, Sirius, you beat us in the upper bracket final. We learned our lesson. Our creator patched us this month. And that's it. We've come back ferocious. 11 wins, 2 losses. Those 2 losses were against Sirius that are now avenged. Your grand champions of the Dota 2 bot masters are a beginner AI. Well done. Enjoy your $100 billion prize pool. What is there to analyze in this game? I mean, the MVP is an easy sniper gift for that. There is no analysis, really. I mean, just the lanes were won. Not extremely, but decent enough. Jug was ahead of the Shadow Fiend because Shadow Fiend would farm really well and then die, and then farm really well and then die. And then at some point, I think it might be about here-ish. It's about here-ish. The Shadow Fiend, where this pink mark dips just there. The Shadow Fiend at about 12-13 minutes just disconnects. He just pieces out, and then he reconnects. It's like, oh, okay. It was very scary for a moment for beginner AI, but he effectively did win this mid-game 4v5. Sniper was a cut above anybody. I mean, look at that blue line. The only other person in the game that was remotely on the same level was Dragon Knight. I mean, you got 5 digits, right? Only 2 heroes got into the 5 digits. Dragon Knight just barely scraped in at the end. The sniper had been there for 7 minutes. He was just there the whole time. None of the lanes went right for Sirius. The hero picks were not right for Sirius. You've got no support heroes. Closest thing you've got to support heroes, maybe a Lina 5, maybe a Kunkka 4, but that's not how they laned it. They sent the Lina mid, and they sent the Kunkka, I believe it was to the off lane. Got this awkward... It was Jug Clinks in the off lane, and this awkward Kunkka Slark safe lane. It's just not quite what they were able to make anything from. And because of that, you've got beginner AI with a very normal draft. 5 heroes that work together, a clear frontliner, lots of disable, minus armor auras, heavy damage. They do well in the lanes, and how does Sirius take a fight? Like, what is their fight condition? You've got 3 or 4 heroes that don't want to be in the thick of things. Clinks, Lina, and Slark do not want to be in the thick of a fight. All of them want to be sneaking around on the outside of a fight, picking things off and throwing in spells and engaging, disengaging, engaging, whenever their cooldowns and their items and their spikes feel comfortable in a fight. Kunka's alright in the middle of a fight, but Jug even as well. He's not someone who just wants to like jump in and face tank a load of shit. He can spin, but then he's not tanking anything. On the other hand, you've got a very clear strategy. We saw it in the river fight, where you've got Dragon Knight sitting in the middle of the river tanking everything. Sniper sitting just behind the Dragon Knight. No one can reach him, and the two of them are just decimating the entire team. They raxed them at 20 minutes and they throned at 24. There was no competition in this game. A very clean, dominant, crushing victory for beginner AI. Thank you for joining me for this tournament. Let me know if you enjoyed it. I might run something similar in the future, maybe next year. Depends on what's going on in terms of life. Hopefully this whole investment of time, effort, energy, and passion rewards me with something. But we'll see how it goes. And I'll see you when I see you next. Bye.